This is Pete the Tech Guy, and this is the latest of our subscriber commentaries. If you hit the tip jar this week and want to see the entire commentary, go to thetechguyblog.com. Again, that's DATECHGUI blog.com. Hit subscribe for any amount and you'll get commentaries every week. Now this is actually a special bonus commentary. This one's going to be available free to everybody. I will be recording a second commentary a little bit later in the day today. Well, it's Wednesday, October 30th, and I am at the T station at Alewife in Boston. It's 4:48 a.m. in the morning. And I've discovered that driving into Boston is very easy if you leave your house around 3:30 on a weekday. You don't get clogged at the Concord Rotary. You don't get clogged at 128. You don't get clogged at going into Boston. You head straight in, which is very nice. I am actually the very first person at the T station. There's guys who are cleaning up right now. The floors are wet from being mopped and swept. But in an hour or two, this entire area, in fact, all of these cars are going to be swarming with people coming from outside of Boston to take the subway to go into the city. And this is actually an excellent illustration of how lousy the argument that our friends on the left are currently making on Obamacare. Now, as you may have seen in the news, we've discovered, or I should say, the rest of the country has discovered, because us on the right knew this for quite a while and have been screaming this like bloody murder for a while, that the president's promise, if you like your health care plan, you can keep it, was a bunch of bull. And NBC had their expose yesterday. Morning Joe was all over it, and the defenders of the administration, both on the radio, I heard this on Michael Graham's show from Defenders of the Administration, on TV, keep saying, you know, those plans stunk. Those plans were terrible. That's why it's, yeah, you're losing your plan, but you're losing a lousy plan. Something you don't need. Now, I was door to door yesterday, hitting some of my old customers, offering some end-of-the-year deals for advertising, and I had customers tell me about how their insurance has gone up. One man who I've been courting for a while talks about how once he gets over 10 employees, he's going to be subject to new mandates, so that 10th employee is never going to get hired. Another person who's basically a one-man business, she told me that she would love to advertise more with me, but because her health care premium went so high up, all of her spare cash is going to go to the penalty for not having health insurance. And she also told me about her 80-year-old mother whose new plan that she's paying more for now covers maternity, which is exactly what she needs. But we have people talking about, oh, those old plans were bad, those old plans were bad. Well, I think this subway car is a great analogy. Now, I am heading to Fenway Park. Morning Joe is broadcasting live from there. I don't know what time the trains start running. Hopefully by 5. I figure I can get there maybe 5:45 or so, 15 minutes before they start, which is late for me, but that's okay. But this subway car is a perfect analogy for Obamacare. Now, I've been parked at Alewife in the big garage. I'm actually in a really great spot. $7 all day for parking, and I am parked right near the doors on the second floor for the first time in forever. So, because I was one of the first people here. So, $7 for parking there. Taking the T, which is $2.50 each way. So it's going to cost me $12 plus the gas I paid to drive to Boston and to drive back, to go to Fenway Park, to cover Morning Joe, maybe get an interview or two, and do a commentary from Fenway Park. Now, the problem is, of course, I don't have, by taking the subway here, I just plain do not have my air conditioning. I don't have my radio. I do not have the conveniences of my car. And if you have a fancier car, you might have all kinds of extra conveniences. What if someone told me, you know something, Peter? We're not going to make you you take the subway. The subway's going to be crowded. You're going to have to wait for the trains to go whenever they want to go. You have less choices. It's not a good choice. You're stuck in a parking garage. You got to leave your car in the parking garage with all these other people. You've got to take the subway. You've got to buy tickets upstairs. You've got to share your ride. I'm going to say, no, you're not taking that subway. You're going to drive in the Fenway. All the way in. You're going to get the comfort of your car. You're going to get much closer. It's going to be much more convenient. In fact, if you kept driving in instead of stopping, especially since you left so early, you'd probably be at Fenway maybe by 5 o'clock, 10 past. Tiny walk to your car. Now, of course, your parking is going to be $25, maybe $30, since parking is at a premium over there. And with a World Series game tonight, parking is going to be even more expensive, maybe $40, $50. But that doesn't matter, because what you had wasn't good enough. You're going to go straight into the city. We're not going to have the subway anymore because it's better for you. Instead of that lousy subway having to share this kind of seat, you can go have your nice, comfortable car and go on it. And that is Obamacare in a nutshell. It's like kicking up a person trying to save money to do better for themselves, to build up a savings, being told, you can't have a little less to build up that savings. You're going to buy this car, because this car has a connection for your iPod. Your old car didn't have a connection for that iPod. We're not going to let you spend money on that old car. You're not going to be able to buy that $3,000 car, that starter car if you're a kid. You've got to buy this $6,000 car because I want you to have this feature, this OnStar feature. This is what Obamacare is. That's the explanation. It's telling a person who's trying to be thrifty, who's trying to save, you can't save because I know better than you. And this is why insurance lobbies and the like didn't mind a lot of these things. Yeah, they're selling policies for more money. They're going to make a profit. Why do you think the lobbyists were all in this? Why do you think this had to be passed so people could see it? This is the idea. It rewards, quote-unquote, a big business at the expense of the consumer. And frankly, since this is hitting a lot of self-employed people, who are my primary customers, frankly, these changes are designed this way because it takes away money from people who are more the political opponents of Democrats, the people who are trying to make it on their own, the people who are self-reliant, the people who don't want to depend on government, who want to depend on their own decisions. This isn't a bug to the left. This is a feature. That's why, although there's a lot of stories about people losing their health care, they're not going to care, because a lot of the people who are going to lose it are the people who aren't voting with this president anyways. Just like it didn't matter that World War II monuments were taken out or Revolutionary War monuments were taken out, because those were supported by their political opposition. So the next time someone tries to make the argument to you, oh, well, they're getting rid of these awful plans, ask them if they should get rid of the subway, because it's not as comfortable as your own car, so that you can pay a little bit more. And that is basically how it works. Well, that's the free commentary. I hope you liked it. If you would like to get my commentaries every week, as I said, go to thetechguyblog.com. That's DATECHGUIblog.com. Hit subscribe for any amount. You'll get the commentaries every week. Now, if you just want one commentary for a particular week, hit the tip jar, and you'll get a commentary that week. Well, this is Pete the Tech Guy, awaiting the movement of the car. There's a few people who just came in. I'm hoping that this subway car will move before 6 in the morning, although I don't know for sure. But thanks, and you take care.